Good morning, everybody. We're back over here at this about 1 acre city violation job, and we've got a little mulching to do. So let's take a look at what we got. All right, so we finally got the ASV out here with the mulcher, RT-120 with the pre-noth. And this is my first time running this machine with the mulcher, and probably like only my 5th or 6th time running a skid steer with a mulching head. I don't have a whole lot of experience running mulching heads. I have a lot of experience running skid steers with brush cutters, rotary brush cutters. You guys are familiar with my channel, but not a lot of experience running skid steers with mulchers. I only had the mulcher for, I don't know, with the John Deere that I had before. I only had that for a few months, 4 or 5 months before I got this thing, and we only did a handful of jobs with that. So if you haven't seen this lot before, I came over here with the Mini. We knocked down a ditch that was overgrown. So we got this ditch cleaned up through here, and then the back was really wet. And so I kind of went back in there, got some of that, and that was pretty much it. We got a bunch of rain. I did that job on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, and then we got a bunch of rain on Thursday. So I've let it dry out for a few days, come back over here and finish it up with the skid steer. So this shouldn't take long. Most of the back is already done. It's just got this middle part, and I've already done the front as well, and that right side. So it's pretty much just the middle, and we'll be done. So the reason I'm doing this with the mulcher, other than the brush cutters, we had the hurricane come through about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and there's a bunch of deadfall in here, and I want to chew all that up. And the brush cutter's not really made to do that, and this thing doesn't throw as bad as the brush cutter. So we're gonna crank it up, see what she'll do. right, good news and bad news. Good news is Big Munchie works like a champ. It went through this stuff very quickly, very easily. It's totally different animal than the deer. Totally different. Let me just tell you that. I can't even describe how different that mulcher is hooked up to that ASV compared to the deer. It's just completely different. Not even comparably close. I mean, I can't even describe it. Bad news is, so that's the good news. Good news is that thing works great. Bad news is, so when I was hooking up the mulcher the other day, I had a really hard time getting the female head on the mulcher side to hook up to the male head on the skid steer. It would not go. I fought with it for 2 hours and could not get it to hook up. Bled the lines, got the pressure out of it, it wouldn't work. So I had a spare female head, changed it out, and I thought it was fine. Got over here and started running and got about this much done and realized it was just gushing oil out of it. It was a big pool of oil right here on the step where those connectors are. I don't have another head. I guess the original head that's on it's bad. It would not hook up. I even took the head off and tried to hook it up without any lines connected. It would not go. So that head's bad. And then the other head, the spare head I had, is bad. So Misty and I have to leave this afternoon to go out of town to go to the expo. I don't have time to go all the way out to the other side of Conway and get another head, change out the head, bring the skid steer back over. I don't have time for that. Look, this job's like a mile from my office. So I went ahead and just got Little Munchie. And the reason why I got Little Munchie is if you guys saw the last video, I kind of pushed some piles up over here when I cleared that little area for the guy that lives over here so he could expand his driveway. I told him I would grind those piles down, and if I brought the skid steer back over here with the brush cutter, which that would have worked because the brush cutter runs on a completely different set of hydraulic heads, so I wouldn't have had the leaking issue, but I wouldn't have been able to grind those piles down. And I told that guy I would do that you know, when I came back through here with the skid steer. Well, obviously that's not going to work, so I need to grind those piles down. So we don't have much left here to do. I should be able to walk this thing through here, just make some wide sweeps, and 1-2 passes through here should pretty much take care of this whole thing. And then we'll clean up the back, that little bit rests in the back. So I'll time lapse the rest of this really quick. We'll knock this out, grind those piles down, and this job will be done. So good and bad, but luckily you know, I got a backup here to help me. So let's get started. All right, everybody, there's the job. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to film me getting this last little bit here in the front. I finished the back, and I got out and I was walking up with the tripod and the GoPro to set it up here, work my way up and film that. And all of a sudden, I just felt like a needle had been shot into my arm right here, and I knew exactly what it was when it happened. And I dropped the tripod, I dropped the GoPro, and I just took off running and circled my way back around. The Mini was still back there. Circled my way back around, drove over there to where I got stung, and there was there's an underground Yellowjackets nest right there, right behind that pine tree right there with the yellow marker on it. Right behind that, there's one kind of near where that oak is right there. And then so I went over there, I took the mulcher over the nest like really good. I was like, all right, you guys want to mess with me? I'll mess back. So did that. They come swarming out of there, swarmed all over the machine. I didn't care because I'm in the cab. Finished that up and started coming forward and hit another nest right there where that pine tree is with the yellow thing on it. There's another nest in the ground. What happens is come October, when it starts to cool off at night, the Yellowjackets they go underground. They find little areas, typically very shaded lots like this that don't get a lot of rain, and they'll find little areas underneath the roots of some of these trees, and they'll go down there and they make ground nests in the ground where they stay warm. And you'll be just coming along or walking, you won't even see them, you know, because they're on the ground, you know, and there's usually just a little hole like that about the size of your thumb where they come in and out of. And you'll just be walking along and one of them will just fly out and be like, oh, hi, bang, sting the crap out of you. So yeah, you don't believe me here. You guys don't believe me, there's my elbow all swole up right there. Yeah, got me right there. Whew, that thing hurts. Itches. Oh, it's gonna itch bad. After about a day, it stops hurting and starts itching. But yeah, I got all this done. I was glad. You know, at first I thought me bringing the Mini back over here was going to be, you know, kind of a pain, but honestly, it didn't take me but about an hour to go through here and finish the last little bit of this. It didn't take long, and it also allowed me to come back through here and get between some of the tighter trees, like in between here and over there, and right in there, get in between all of that that I wouldn't have been able to do with the skid steer. So it actually ended up being pretty good. I cleaned all this up. Now with these city violation lots, the city does not require me to go around and clean up around the trees. Just get everything as close as I can, and that's it, unless there's something specific in the front that they want done for visibility purposes. But most of the time they just want it mowed, and that's, you know, and get what you can get with the mower and leave the rest. They will not pay me to go around and clean up around every tree. But you know, with this, you know, having the Mini, I can get that head right in between tight spots and clean up in between the trees. So that worked out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, sucks that the head went bad on the mulcher. That's not the ASV, that was on the actual mulcher itself. But yeah, looks good. The inspectors will come by, and I'm sure they'll be happy with all this. I think it looks pretty good. I don't think they're gonna have any issue with anything. So that's that. I'm out of here. I'm going to the expo, guys. GIE Equipment Expo in Louisville. Leaving here shortly, head that way. Be there all day Wednesday and Thursday, so check me out. If you see me around, I got a ton of stickers to give out, and I'll check you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.